Founder and Executive Director of Omega Arizona Properties LLC. His interest in property business stemmed from an inborn art and passion in buying and selling, coupled with a natural endowment for remodeling, i.e. fixing things in bad shape to look more presentable and appreciable. He was born and grew up in a business environment. His dad was a wholesale trader of beverage, drinks, and foods. He also enjoyed the privilege of helping his dad in drawing plans for new house projects. So it's no wonder early years of life experience has mentally pre-wired him for the capability of running a successful multi-million-dollar real estate business. So we wish him continued successful real estate business transactions in his life. So we're going to bring him up and he's going to share with you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello. Yeah, my own presentation is going to be different because the other guys here, lecturers, teachers, everything. But in my own case, like I told the presenter before he was even able to get me, I told him, hey, I wouldn't do that. I can get a couple of people together and we talk. I'm very good in that, not to come out here. So, but he just told me some godly things and,
do good.
I said, okay, let me come up and try my best. So, first of all, I would like to mention something that I've noticed. I mean, apart from yesterday's presentation, you guys must have seen today that we have been seeing, you see them, they're talking about contract. They just want to, just get the money. So what are you doing with all this money? Just getting contracts from Arizona state government, and you just putting the money in there. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. You need to be able to do something with it. And the next thing is you invest that money. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you one of the ways by which you can, after getting this contract from the government, getting all this big money, instead of you putting it in the bank, you can let that money work for you again, And looking at real estate, as we know about real estate. It's been a business that has been in existence for long, as far back as we started building houses, and people have been investing into it, and even without you even going into being a real estate investor, me and you buying property, and you and your family living in that property, you are already a real estate investor. And that's how it goes. So that's the first slide, real estate investment. And that's just a little about me. I run a business with my wife, and I just say, okay, what can I do again? Because I have passion for, like the presenter said, fixing things. I was into cars initially, fix cars, sell it. Then with my wife, my wife she's kind of finicky. I'm sorry for going into all this, but I just wanted to see the basis, because real estate, it's, some people, they do it and they have difficulty in it because they don't understand it, they don't know, they don't really, it's not inbuilt in them. So that's why I'm saying this. So my wife is kind of finicky. She likes good things. She likes things to be clean. She wants this in the house, and so that's where I kind of gained some things from that, and add it to my own, my grown. I mean, when I was growing up, and and I kind of discovered myself because I didn't even know that, because I was supposed to have started the business a long time, maybe when I was in Chicago or something like that. But I kind of discovered that, oh, okay, why don't they just let me try this thing? And since I started the time, it's been, I've been, I can say confidently that I've been doing well in it. So that's just a little about the ultimate. It's a family business, and it's incorporated in Nevada, but the business is running in Arizona, Illinois, and Indiana. I have friends in Chicago, and my in-law is in Indiana, so we do stuff together there. That's how I come about with the other states. So, and that's me, and so next slide. So that's the roadmap. That slide is just telling you the roadmap of real estate investment. There's not a clear-cut steps in real estate investment. It's not like you have to do this or you have to do this before you can do this. It's kind of, it depends on the way you look at it. So, for me, I would say, if you want to go into the business, like Mr. Layi said, one of the first thing would be for you to incorporate a business, get your business incorporated. Don't just, just start without any business, because by the time you start it, people will start asking you, what is your business name? So you need to get your business incorporated. That's the first thing. And when there are different, like Mr. Layi said, there are different types of business incorporation. I don't have that slide here. There is sole proprietorship, there is a partnership, and there is the LLC. And like he said, I will advise you go for the LLC. And like him said also, the veil, like he talked about the veil. The importance of the veil is, it's like putting a blanket between you and your incorporation. So in case you have a problem, maybe you have a business initially and you now run into financial crisis, something happened to that business and you run into debt. If you have a good business set up, if you have a veil, that veil will prevent you from maybe the court telling you to come and maybe the real estate business is doing very well. They cannot touch it. They cannot touch it. The problem you are having is for you yourself. It's not for the incorporate, the LLC. That is the business for the real estate problem. So that's just the importance of you having the LLC and having that business properly incorporated and set up. So just to prevent you from running into problems. So after you setting up your business, you getting your business incorporated, the next thing is you build your team. Building the team, that's the next step I will talk about. Building a team, and let me have this slide. Sorry. Building a team. Next slide. Okay, so that's a very interesting step in the business. And that's the first. So that's Sister Millicent. You see in the first. That's the first box. A real estate agent. When you going into real estate investment, the first thing, I was faced with that challenge, and like most of my other presenters said initially, this is a very good opportunity for all of us, because I remember when I was trying to start this business, my wife is a good witness. I lost a lot of money. I cannot lie to you. I lost a lot of money trying to get information about how to start this thing. I didn't even realize that I just need to get a real estate agent. That's just the thing. Nobody was ready to talk to help me. So I went to classes. Yeah, they asked me to pay $7,000, $35,000. Because I was so desperate, I had to pay just to get into it, because I know that if I start it, I'm going to get the money back. And like my wife, I like investing. I like, that's what I was born into. I like investing my money, putting my money into something and bringing something back to me. So that's what really pushed me, because I was kind of just, okay, I want to invest money, and I know real estate is good to invest money. So I went into it, and they told us what to do. And so one of the things you need to do is, building your team. When you build your team, you have your real estate agent, you have your contractors, contractors. That's another very important aspect of the real estate agent, because that's the person who is going to do the work for you. They're going to do all the construction from A to Z. So they are very important. If you don't have a good contractor, the business is going to fail. So you need to have a good contractor. And like my contractor, I remember a couple of days ago, I went to Home Depot. I got a tile for like $2 per square foot. And this guy told me, okay, let's go to our website. Let's go to 53rd and Bears. There is a wall and decor there. The tiles is selling, Home Depot is selling for $2. You're going to get it for 99 cents. And we got there, and that is just the way it is. The place is filled up with tiles. Even they have more tiles than the Home Depot here they have. So, information is very important in real estate too. Information is very important. You should be able to talk. Like they told us, don't be scared. You need to talk. Just see this person, just ask him or her question, maybe the way he dresses, is a contractor, and you are having problem with your own contractor. Talk to him or her. He might be the person that God is really going to help you get to another breakthrough in your business. So that's about the contractor. Then, like Mr. David said, you get an attorney, you have an attorney friend, because it's not going to be like something of trouble every time that you need to get an attorney that you need to pay. So if you have a real estate friend or attorney, that's good enough for you. Then you have a title company, then the lenders. That's another a very interesting aspect of real estate investment. If you look at the properties outside here, they going from anything from 50,000 to 2 million, 3 million. So, and do you have this money? Do you have 2 million? Do you have 500,000? No. So that's where the lenders come in. These lenders, they are very, very much available because of the property itself is a kind of a collateral for you. So because of that, unlike all these stockbrokers, you go in there, buying stock at Wall Street, even if you look at these people, they are very much interested in putting their money into real estate because the value is there. They are very confident that, if you look at the story about real estate, since I've been in this country, it was only what happened in 2008, and it's not something that, because that kind of something put people off about putting their money into real estate, but it's not something that comes in every time. I mean, real estate is a very reliable business. If you do it right, you put some money into it, you can't miss it. You can, every year it goes. Even you that you are just buying your house and living in there, this year it's 70,000. Next year, if you look at the value, it is going to be like maybe 90,000. It's not going to go down. It's always going up. So that's the good thing when you're investing into real estate. And so for the lenders, so we have hard money lenders. Those are the big guys, you know, they're outside there, they are ready to give you big money, whatever they value your house. And the other thing with our hard money lenders is different from when you are buying property and you want to live in it, that you go into the credit process for 1 month. These people, they give you this thing the next day. They immediately you call them, you know, you call them and you tell them blah blah blah, this is what you have. They go there, check it out, and even if it's in Illinois, they have staffs in Illinois. They go there, they check it, they walk it, they make sure they go there. They won't just like, you know, do it on the phone. They go and see the property itself, and after that they will ask you for some other information that you provide to them, just to make sure that you have acquired the property that is just the financial assistance that you need. So after that, then to release the money just to pay whoever who is the initial owner of that property. That's what, as per the lenders. And the private money lenders is everybody here. We are private money lender. You can like buy a big man now with all those group home with the money coming in. I mean, if you have very reliable friends, you know, you can, okay, because if you put that money in the bank, I will show it to you in one of the slides later. If it sits in the bank, maybe say 100,000, it might look small to you, but for a year, well, I mean, 100,000 cannot fetch you more than 1,000. But if you lend somebody money to, I mean, that's what I do, that's what they gave me. They're taking 10,000 from me, from what I'm making, and it's immediately. I give it to them every month. When I get their money, I give it to them every month. So it's a kind of, you know, done deal if you put some money as a private person, but people are not very ready to do that. So that's another tax for you as a investor. You need to have some money. That's how you can enjoy this. You need to have some money, because by the time you see deals, by the time these hard money lenders, they want to lend you money, they're going to ask you, they're not going to give you the 100%. No hard money lender is going to give you, okay, take. They said the value of the property is 200,000. Okay, take 200,000. They won't give you that. The best they're going to give you is 80%. So they want you to put that your own 20% into it. So it's good for you if you can provide that 20% yourself. No way. Because if you go to anybody, you rely on getting somebody to lend you that. I mean, like the private money lenders, you're not going to. I tried it. No, I never got it. So that's just another. So you can, like we say, you can leverage. You can get friends together, 10,000, and you know, to get the 50,000, just to get the ball rolling. So that's what that aspect. So other things, we have wholesalers, we have landlords. That's just talking about about, you know, after buying the property, what do you want to do with the property? You can be a wholesale. You buy the property, don't do anything. I can buy the property and sell it to you without doing anything. 1 week, I might make 5,000 to 10,000. You know, depends on how much. Like Sister Millicent said yesterday, you're making the deal when you are buying. You're not doing anything big when you are selling. You know, I was listening, so that's why I'm referring to one person or the other. So you're making a deal when you are buying. When you want to buy smart. That is the aspect of real estate. If you're doing real estate investment, it's different from when you are going there to live in. real estate investment, you want to invest to make money. That's what you want, that's your goal. So when you are buying, you have to buy smart. And one other aspect again is, hey, that realtor is not your friend. Sister Millicent is not real estate investor friend at all. Because whatever the case is, she's going to make his own money.
Yeah.
You make anything, you don't make anything, she's going to make her own money. And she's going to push you. She's going to encourage you. She's going to lie to you. I mean, maybe when we put in the Christianity aspect of it, she might be different in her own case. But you know, I've met different kinds of realtors that lies. So when you go into this thing, you need to be savvy, you need to be smart, you need to know what you are doing. You don't need to listen to real estate agents. You don't need to listen to them. You need to know what you are doing, because they're going to lie to you. They won't tell you a lot of things. A lot of things that is coming up. There are a lot of things coming up that you won't know when you are starting. So most of the time, the first one might be like a struggle, but by the time you just make sure you use that first one to study, because whatever that happened to you in the first one, it's you're doing the same thing over and over again. That's another good thing in real estate investment. You are doing the same thing. You are rehabbing. You're fixing houses. So it's the same thing. I'll say it's the same with house building. Provided it's residential. When it's commercial, it might be some other thing. It's kind of the same thing, but it's another story with commercial. So rehabbers, that's the one I'm talking about. You know, you buy the house, you fix it, and you sell it. And the landlords, you buy the house, you fix it, or you don't fix it, you rent it out, and you make your money. And the retail buyers as well. So other professionals that you can build up, using building up your team. You have the CPA, that's the accountant. You know, that one is going to help you in filing your tax. You know, so he might be able to give you some things, some information that will help you towards filing your tax. So the escrow officer, like Sister Millicent said, that's it. When you are ready to buy, there's an escrow officer. That's kind of the middleman between the buyer and the seller. That's the escrow officer. So the property insurance, whenever you are buying a property, there's always, they're going to tell you to pay for insurance. The buyer pay, the person who is buying pays for insurance. Depends on if it's the one you're going to live in, the insurance is different from if you are flipping. If you are flipping, the insurance might not be like, it might be like $700 that you're going to pay for it. That's the stage, you know, like when you finish your remodeling, you know, you don't need to go and buy furnitures, you know, you just, there are stages that they put in the furnitures there, like somebody's living in there already, and you have photographers, they take the picture, and with the technology now, you know, social media everywhere, and like Sister Millicent said yesterday, the social media is a plus for this business. You know, you don't need to. Somebody who is going to buy your house doesn't need to go to that street before she knows the property that is going to get on websites, MLS, Zillows. You know, depending on where you list it, Facebook, Craigslist. You know, all those social media, they have all this avenue to list. So you list your properties, and yeah, that's the web person developer. Next stage. So this slide is just telling you that, you know, you kind of activity, contact 5 people on your list within the, what this is trying to say is, you know, like, you need to talk. You need to talk when you are in this kind of business. You need to try and build up your team. So ask questions. So say 5 people on your list within the next week, you know, they want you to talk to. You get the agent, the realtor, you get a realtor. It doesn't mean you are only looking for one realtor. You might get as many. You might get this realtor, and get another one, and keep on working with them, and until, from time to time, until you get what you need. So, 5 potential buyer, communicating 5 potential buyer, that one is, I think, just telling you, like, maybe you're at the stage of selling, so you want to communicate 5 potential buyers, set up your personal profile. Next slide. Okay, that's funding your deals. So, so you guys, you're just gonna pardon me. I told you before, I'm not a teacher, so you just bear with me. I might be going, So, like I mentioned initially, funding your deals, that's another aspect, of a very important aspect of a real estate investment. You need to fund your deal. So, like I mentioned initially, this is showing you like your money sitting in the bank. Like if you want to pay private lender, your money sitting in the bank is 1,000 for the whole year. That's your revenue after the year, and that's if you are investing on real estate. That's how much you can make in a year. That's what is there. Comparing the two, if you put your money in the bank, that's it. And if you put your money on Wall Street, you know the system on Wall Street. It can go up and tomorrow it's down. But real estate is not like that. Real estate is going up every day. So that's the cool thing with real estate. Okay, next slide. Also, this slide is talking about the marketing. That's a very important aspect of real estate. You market why do we go to market? Because, just like normal market, Lilies, or in Nigeria or in Ghana, market, you go to market to buy. So market is set up for buyers and sellers. So, and if you are into real estate investment, at the time you're going to be buyer, at the next moment you're going to be seller. So you're going to be flipping between the two stages. So at the stage when you are buyer, you don't need to do much of marketing when you are buying. But what you need to know is how to make use of all the available media, because we have a lot of media outside here that can analyze all this property for you, because it's not like you are just buying car or something. You are buying property and you have to be very careful. And there are so many deals outside here. We are here in Phoenix. We have auction.com, where when you attend auction.com, the night before, they're gonna give you, if you are registered with them, they will give you all the houses they're gonna auction the next day, and you cannot go into that house. Just wanted to say one of the funny things. You cannot go into that house, but you will see the house. You can go there, drive by, just to be sure that the house is there, the house is not burned down. So you just go there to see, but you cannot go in there to see how much damage is inside the house, because but the house is going to foreclosure already, and that's why they're going to auction it on that the next day. So it's going to foreclosure. So, and they want to sell it. Sometimes the person who is living there, they are crazy. We've seen somebody who went into in his own house, because the house is going to foreclosure. He cut the wires. He cut in the wire and put back the drywall, and everything is. So, that's just one of the risks there. But when they are auctioning this thing, you don't know this. So that's just another. I'm not saying that to discourage you, but it's just. And that is just 1 out of 100, but just telling you one of the risks in real estate, when you are going for auction, because there are so many avenues of buying when you want to buy property, but that's just one of the weird ones. When you go for auction, as any auction, that's the way they do auction, you know. But for real estate, you are not able to go into it and you want to buy. So there are other ones where the owner are selling. The owner of the property, they are selling their property. Maybe it might be an issue of divorce, might be an issue of the owner is bereaved. You know, so many reasons why people are selling their properties. There are so many reasons. So, and you have cases maybe they might almost paid off, and so they want to just sell it off, you know. So, but when you are buying, what I was actually saying initially is, you know, when you are going to buy, you need to be very careful. You need to know, you need to know what you want to buy. You need to be able to make use of all the available media that you can use to analyze your properties. You know, like the MLS, like and there are other tools too that you can use that they are kind of a mock of MLS, because MLS is only accessible, it's only the realtors have the access into the MLS. So one of the things you can do is you can get partner with a realtor in order for you to have access, because when you are buying, you need to go on MLS. You need to, before you can buy, you have to go into MLS to see how much, and that's what we call comps. You have to check the comps. You have to know how much they are selling in that area. That is very, very important. How much they are selling in the neighborhood. Like half a mile away from your property of interest. Half a mile to 1 mile away, you need to know how much they've been selling in that area before you buy. And when you look into that too, you need to find out, because some of those properties that you are seeing the price, they've been upgraded. So you might see a property selling in this neighborhood for 200, and you might see another one selling for 350. So when you are looking at MLS, you have to be careful. It's not like all the properties are the same. You know, some of them have been remodeled and they are now put back in the market to be sold. And the one you are buying, it was built in 1957 and everything there is like crap. So you need to put money into it and you need to make some expenses. And so you need to know all those things before you go into buying. So okay. So this slide is just telling you about the different market strategy, and that's where you are. Thank you. That's one of the marketing ways. You know, you get somebody, or you yourself, I'm not done with that slide. Sorry. So the bandit sign is just a means of advertising your property when you want to sell, or you know. So you put out flyers. That's what bandit sign is saying. MLS is the one I was talking about. You go on MLS, you check, and if you don't have access to MLS, like the one I use, you might subscribe maybe with assistance for $5 every month. They give you access, and it tells you what almost the same thing with MLS. Direct mail, you mail letters. That's what the social media, that's the big one. Facebook, Craigslist, and the online lead. Just telling you the different ways by which you can, when you want to buy, by which you can look for properties to buy. So after that, you know, it's telling you all those gives you leads, and you know, you have 1,000. Then you still want to stream down that, so that's like a funnel and a filter. So you filter and it goes into, the prospect. So you have 100, and now from 100, now you have 10 deals. So from the 10 deals, you want to pick out the best one that you're going to buy. So after you pick out what you're going to buy, you do the deal, then you can wholesale, you rehab, you buy out, So that's what this slide is just talking about. Okay. Next slide. This is another part of the business, marketing. These are one of the ways by which you can market yourself. You forming a business and make sure your business, you have a logo, color scheme, something to make you, to something very, very notice that will make people notice you. It might even be an advert on your car. You can have your car branded with your name, and you see people, they stop you. What do you do? So it's just a kind of marketing. It's just telling you different types of way. Having a business card, making business card for yourself. That's another way of you. Easy to remember phone number, online presence, and credibility packets is is kind of just like the one I did initially, telling them about what you do and what you are looking for. Like you are blah blah blah. You are a real estate investor and you are looking for properties that are 30 to 40% below market value, because that's what you are actually looking for. You are not looking for properties that are of market value. You are looking for something that are below market value that you want to put money into, fix it, and now you make your money. So that's what the credibility package is all about. Okay. Marketing campaign. Still talking about the same thing. Direct mail campaign. That's for sale by owner. That's one of the people. I mean, those are the owners that they are selling their house by themselves. They're not giving it to real estate agents. Even they are not listing it. There are deals outside there that are not listed on MLS. And those are the kind of good deals that you have. But when you get it, you have to still put it on MLS, or you use one of your tools to analyze it, to make sure, despite the fact it's not on MLS, you still need to know how to analyze and make sure that if you buy this property and fix it, you're still going to make your money. Out of signature, probate is about those people, there are deals outside there, there are people that they are default in tax, they've not been paying their taxes, and the next thing, the city, they get the house from them, they lose the house. So those are the houses that they go into court and they sell them through probate sales. And paid online market campaign, networking, MLS offer system. We mentioned that one before. Next slide. Virtual assistant resources. This is another step in real estate. It's just telling you this is where important in all businesses, not only real estate, is outsourcing is a kind of media that is a kind of answering system that when they call you like Fiverr.com and Upwork.com, when they call you, you are not there, but the answering system pick up and tell the caller what to do, kind of the answering system. That's what the outsourcing is talking about. Okay. Deal evaluation. I think I mentioned that. It's just telling you when you get your deal, you evaluate your business. You see, just to make sure you're making use of the MLS. The MLS tells you whether you are, it's able, you analyze, and it tells you if that property is good for you. And the next slide, which is a property tour, you now go into the property itself. That one is talking about going to the property itself. Sometimes when you want to buy, most of the time you have the ability to go and access the property. So when you get into the property, you should be able because there are so many people coming to check that property. You're not the only person coming to check it. So, and it might be a good deal. So you should be able to analyze the property immediately you get to the property. You should be able to know, okay, am I going to replace this roof? Am I going to change the tiles? Am I going to upgrade the kitchen? Am I going to upgrade the bathroom? How much is it going to cost me? You should be able to decide that one right there when you enter the property. That is how you can really get good deals. When you have, and the fact that you did it before, you should be able to do that, because most of the time, everything goes by square feet. So when you look at, okay, this one is a little bit smaller than the last deal that I did. Okay, so if that one cost me 4,000, then this one might cost me 3,500. If the last deal cost me 3,500, if this one is bigger, because just put a little and you make just a rough estimate of how much you're going to spend, and by that you are able to see that, okay, this is a good deal. Can you tell maybe the realtor? Then they can take the house off the market, and you can now go into you put down some you put money into escrow. You put money into escrow because it's not that just going to say, okay, I have interest. You need to put down something. So that's how they are really sure that you want to go into this thing. So they take that property off the market, and then you do all the necessary thing with the title. Then you close the deal, and then you start your repairs. That's it. And that's it. Seller sheet, property card, polling columns. Sorry, like I told you. So that most of the things I mentioned initially, property card. The next slide. So this is the polling columns to determine ARV. The ARV is after the peer value of your property. That's where after fixing your property, now the value goes up. So that's the ARV, after the peer value. So you pull comps in the area of the neighborhood, and you see how much they are selling, how much properties are selling. So, and traffic, let me have the one. I just want to show you example of how TMLS actually looks like. Let me put in the address. This is the best you can get. I want you to do click on the comps. Yeah, that's the comps of this particular property that Mr. Taufik put in. That's the address of the particular property, and that's the comps in that area. So it it's showing you how many property that have been sold in that area. That's the black one. And that's how it is on MLS. And you can see the active ones. The active ones is showing you properties that are still out there waiting for people to come and buy. So we have many active ones. It doesn't mean that when you have so many active ones that neighborhood is not good. It doesn't mean it's good to have so many sold properties. But when you see active ones, don't let the active one put you off, because there might be issues with those active properties. There might be different issues. But what you just look for is, you look into that, the sold one, you want to make sure that in the radius of 0.5 miles to 1 mile, you have property, you have between 3 and 6, anything between 3 and 6 sold in the last 6 months. That's all you need. You don't need to have, I mean, you have very great neighborhoods where you see, even where you don't see any active ones. That's very good. Those are because we have neighborhoods like that in Gilbert, Chandler, where and you have neighborhoods where they are nice neighborhoods, but there are so many active ones. So I mean, there are so many things that are involved. But when you start doing it, you start getting a feeling. You can start getting everything you need to know when it comes to the comms, because this aspect of real estate is very important. It's one of the key things that the marketing is one of the things that you need to know when you want to, especially when you want to buy. When you are selling, you just give the property. You, like our sister Millicent said, you want to. The thing you need to know is you just need to be sure that you try to spend that money to make sure, like you get an appraiser, because you might be going below. It happened to me before. Your realtor might give you, my realtor just gave me a price and I took that price, and at the end of the day, I find out that the house could have sold like 5,000 more than so. And how could you have avoided that? Just get, I think, $300 to $400 an appraiser. They appraise it and they will tell you how much that property worth, especially if you are a real estate investor. It's good for you to get your property appraised before you put it in market. And one of the reasons why that one is good too is because if you overvalue your house, your property is too high. People are selling for 200 and you put in just for 250. Nobody is going to look at it. So you need to make sure that the property is on the level of on the average level with other property in the area. And we have different properties, the ones that are rehabs that have been upgraded and the ones that are not upgraded. So you need to know where you fall into. So, and when you see the active ones, some of them are not upgraded yet, so that might be the reason, and they might be putting too much on them that the rehabber cannot even buy them. So you might have so many of them sitting in the active one. So those are the things you need to look into when you are buying. Up more. This one is more. Sometimes we have